All right. Let's see if we can get a signal from the back cave, as is tradition. And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy. Back after a week off because of the Memorial Day weekend, but we are back better than ever. And if you're new to the stream, first of all, I'm your host, Ranger J 1999. And this is a stream where we hang out with you wonderful and amazing folks. And this is a Q&A show. We have different content creators come on. Never know who's going to be here. Everyone's schedule is always up in the air. But if any content creators come on, great. If they don't, then doesn't matter because we're still going to get to your questions. And so, if you have any questions, you know the deal. And if you don't know the deal, I'll tell you the deal. If you have a question you want to pose to myself or anybody that's on the panel, all you have to do is put the word question in front of your actual question, comment, statement, and or whatever that you want us to respond to. And that helps me scoop up questions and identify them faster. So please put those into the chat. Make sure you put the word question in front of whatever you're asking. And we'll get that scooped up. We're going to do this for 2 hours. It's basically a 2-hour Q&A show where we hang and answer all your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. Hello and good morning to everybody. Neo Venoms, as the old streamers got to get their icy hot. Yeah. It's not that I need icy hot. It's just yesterday I was doing a lot of yard work yesterday, lifting a lot of heavy stuff, and I just twinged something a little bit. And so I didn't get the best sleep last night, but I'm okay. It's just one of those things where it's an annoying pain. Like if you move, you're like, oh, I don't like that. So yeah, icy hot's not going to help me right now. I think it just pinched a nerve or something. So can't move hundreds of pounds of stuff at a time, and you can hurt yourself. And this is the way the cookie crumbles. Adahon224 says, "Evening Ranger. Good evening, sir. Beskar Bendito. What's going on with you, Holmes? It's Lola Vatos. Free the homie, Ranger. It's all right. What are you doing, fool? What are you doing, crazy fool? Let's see here. Skywalker Vader, a good Vulcan Canadian friend from there, Canada, with all the other mushroom people from Nova Scotia and the Vulcans. Says, live long and prosperous. And good morning, Ranger. Good morning, my friend. Jason Hobby says, word to the mothership. Word indeed. Helly, there he is. The Geek Greek says, good Saturday morning, Ranger and Skewers alike. I wish you all a happy day and tons of crate raid rewards. And yeah, I mean, I'll get my standard rewards. We did GAC yesterday with myself and Ram on my channel. I had a lot of fun. Won our GAC. And then we did Heinz's stream, and I don't know if Heinz won, but he did get the full clear. Did pretty damn well. I did the same. Ram should stream today, so we'll see what happens. For schedule, we're going to do the Jedi Academy. Then we'll take a break. And then we will be back tonight on Twitch or wherever we're going to be. Should be Twitch for some Dungeons and Dragons. So that'll be a lot of fun. If you haven't checked us doing Dungeons and Dragons, it's a lot of fun. So feel free to come check it out. Overkiller187, what's up? Says good morning, Ranger and Skewers. Good morning, my friend. Ray Rock, longtime viewer, Skewer, says good morning, Ranger and Picklers. Yeah, a whole bunch of pickle lovers here. Contingent says, hello there from my AC-less house, and I got to meet with sales on Monday. Yay, LOL. Yeah, not having an AC these trying times is not the best. I feel for you there, buddy. Oh, Contingent. Oh, God. All right, so it looks like Helly and Ray Rock need to get a room. All right, so get your questions in and stuff. Oh, we got one already from our good friend, Canadian friend, the Vulcan Skywalker Vader says, question. I just unlocked, my Inquisitors for like 5. How hard is it to unlock an Inquisitor? Any advice you have? Um, it's RNG. I mean, so the event will be back here soon, sometime this month. There, Skywalker Vader for Grand Inquisitor. You might as well take them up to Relic 7 if you're going for Reva. All right, little twinge. I gotta move a little bit. Um, the thing I would say is that it's not that it's hard. It's very RNG. If you mod correctly, you gotta one mod God mod them for the event. Two, if they're higher relics, it makes it a lot easier. Um, yeah, Michael's got the right idea. Just drink heavily and pray. It took me what 3 hours to beat the event. Now I did it at Relic 5. It's just RNG. And the first two fights and the last fight are not bad at all, but it's those middle fights that are going to get you because it's a pain in the ass. You just got to keep. It's kind of like the gas event. You just got to keep grinding. Wait till the right RNG. There are videos out there on it. You will need your best mods. You can have your Inquisitor's higher relic. It does make the fight easier and less RNG. But that's about it. You're gonna have to be as fast as you can, as beefy as you can, and hit as hard as you can. Beat this stuff. And yeah, wish I had better news Skywalker Vader, but I don't. That event's a pain in the ass. It really is. It is extremely a pain in the E. So that's the best thing. I mean, I had to mod heavily with my best mods on all the characters. I had to do a lot of mod moving around just to be competitive in that thing, and it still took me hours to do it. So yeah, I wish I had better news for you, but there are videos out there. Watch them. You just got to go god tier on your mods, and then if you can get some higher relics before the event comes out, which you need anyway if you're going to be going for Reva, so you might as well take them. The relic 7. Start with 9th and 7th, and then just 5th, and then 8th, and whoever, and then move from there. So yeah. Continue says, I watched the D&D movie the other day. I liked the movie as a movie, but was not impressed with it being D&D. That's okay. As long as you enjoyed it, that's fine. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't tell you. There's a lot of good stuff about it, but it's art. It's subjective. People like it. They like it. If they don't, they don't. I'll have to see what you mean there, contention, one day when I watch it. Oh, goody. Helly's are his first question of the day. Overjoyed. If it's a serious question or a poo-poo question. You get some bait for action first, because with Helly, you never know. Oh yeah, before we get hit the thumbs up, subscribe. If you forget, we're on YouTube. This is very important. So the interactions for the videos makes a big deal with how it works with the YouTube algorithm. So if you're watching this right now, just stop, be classy, hit the like button, and you know, watching the videos all the way through on YouTube and stuff. We will be recording a new lore with the idiots tomorrow, so that'll be out this week for the Patreons and stuff. So there you go. Question for Ranger: did you see Arnold's video on Top Call Guild not doing TWs? Quit TWs. Well, TWs with Crapacrons. I hate TWs myself. What are your thoughts and wisdom? Yeah, we did. We talked about this exclusively. I know Heinzie. We talked about it on my stream yesterday with Ram. We talked about it yesterday on Heinzie's stream. I know it's going to be a big thing on the Rogue Actions. But it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Heinzie confirmed that CG has reached out to them and started a dialogue because of it, which is really shitty because it should have already been a dialogue that happened a while ago. The fact that you had to wait till a disaster happened to try to do something instead of be preemptive and trying to fix stuff ahead of time or communicate more so that this wouldn't happen. Um, it's a big deal, guys. I mean, Call not doing TW and taking a break and pulling back on a lot of their shit is a big deal. These some of the top spenders in the game, and they have pulled back tremendously. They're not doing TW for the summer. They're not going to be even sniffing it until, you know, proactive. Yeah, but that's a huge deal. They're not coming back till Labor Day. That could change because I know CG, from what Heinz said, was reaching out to them and stuff, I guess. I don't, you know, that's Heinz's words, not mine. Said that yesterday that CG had reached out. So I don't know, but it's just one of those things where, you know, they're not listening and they think they know better, and it's datacrons are the big thing, and the time in here, which we've been saying over and over again, is burning people out. They are tired of it. They're tired of the datacrons, the temporary buffs that they have to go crazy for and spend money for, and that go away and completely ruin, you know, the experience of what we're trying to do in GSE TW. They haven't done anything to TW in forever. GAC is GAC, you know. And the time thing. It's the time sink. It's a huge time sink. We talked about it yesterday. That Monday at the last day of GAC is fucking a nightmare for players. You have to finish your GAC by Monday that day. Then Conquest kicks in. That's not including the next TB that's coming in and the new raid. And for a couple days there, you're basically boned as you're trying to do all the feats for Conquest. You're trying to do stuff for TB for your guild, whatever that entails. You've got the raid going on. It's too much. And on top of that, you throw in datacrons and everything else you have to farm. It is people are not happy about the repetitive nature and not getting anything from what they're doing. The datacrons are a joke. They should have gone a long time ago. CG thinks their shit doesn't stink and they know better. Well, you're losing players left and right, and now you got the top TW guild saying, "All right, we're not gonna do this anymore." And that should be a huge red flag for CG if it wasn't already. It should have been a huge flag already with the amount of players that are dropping. And last year, the amount of players that have dropped this game. Yeah, there's been an influx of newer mid-tier players, but they're not at end game stuff, and they're not even close. You get all these end game players quitting and big time spenders. You should be waking up to this. When we content creators and myself have warned that this is not a good path to be on right now, and it's going to lead to people quitting this game. Sure enough, although cause not quitting, they're not doing TW. And that has a huge impact on everything. It has a huge impact on the other guilds and stuff of what they're going to be doing. Because if Call's no longer participating in TW, that changes their whole dynamics and what they need to spend and things of that nature. So it's a cascading effect. I think that is giant news, and it's not a good look. That is a huge bad look for your game if people are looking to see how Star Wars Galaxy Heroes is doing and maybe interested in the game. And one of the things that they pull up on the internet is top guild for the game says this game is in a bad spot and we don't want to contribute to it anymore. That's not good. People read that on the internet, you know. I'm just telling you, CG needs to pull their head out of their butt. They've done some good things of lately. We've talked about this a lot. CG's done some really good stuff. The stuff they done with the store and some other things. Again, when CG gets stuff right, I sing their praises, will defend them. The recent additions, all those characters in the store and the store itself, they've done a really good job of the changes. This shit is next level though, because you can't have Call saying that. If you watch Arnold's video and you read everything that was in that article, it's like, yeah, ding, God almighty. Skywalker Vader says if CG had a proper community manager, making those things wouldn't have happened with WT. Probably, but they don't. So yeah, and poor Meathead, man. I mean, he's doing double duty. I just don't. I just don't. I think we said hello to everybody. Let's see if there's any other questions. Hey, Benny Lau, ni hao, and Whitrange. Here we go. Oh, someone just joined us. Oh, it's Calvin. So, what's going on, Betty?
Not a whole lot, Ranger. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Hurt my back
Good to
yesterday.
be here.
Get a
Oh,
little
that's
bit of
not good.
yeah, it just twinged it. Yeah, I
Working
over
out or yard work?
both. I'm an idiot.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I
that
worked out
sucks.
all week, and then on top of that, I was doing yard work, and just at the end of the day, I didn't feel anything when I was, just I didn't
You
notice
never
it.
do.
I didn't notice it until I got done. I was sitting down because usually when I get done outside the yard, I just throw everything off me. Throw it in the washer because it's completely nasty. Um, and I'll let the AC hit me and cool me down. Right before I go take a shower or anything, I want to cool down a little bit. And I stood up and I was like, oh no, that doesn't feel good. I'm not happy at all. So if I'm a little tender and my movements are go, you'll know why. How was your GC yesterday? Thank you for the raid, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was bad. Um,
Okay.
we our opponent was really good and whatnot, so there was that. But on top of that, we just made like some pretty big misplays. Certain matches we weren't supposed to go into. Even within the match holes, we executed them wrong. So,
Oh
but I mean,
no.
it's fine. Our guy did super well against us. He completely one shot my ground. So it's not like I don't. I think the fact that alone that we had to two shot his Jabba with sea troopers, we had already lost by then, and I had no other solution to that. So it was good. It was educational. Oh, one really stinking cool thing that happened was I got to use my garbage tier Night Sisters, like R5 DACA, everyone else gear 12 or whatever, to beat like a fully relic Zorikron. That was fun.
Very nice. Oh, they're saying you're a little too loud there, Calvin. If you turn down your gain or volume a little bit, uh,
Um,
coming in a
I'm
little.
mute.
Yeah, just turn your volume
I'm
down a little bit.
I'm just using my headset though. I don't know if I can turn it down.
There'd be some button on your computer somewhere that can turn down the volume of your
Oh,
mic.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. Well, there should be a button on your phone somewhere that turn down.
Say I can turn down your like what I'm hearing.
Oh, well, I can't adjust your volume in Zoom. Let me look here. What can I do to Calvin? Oh, I can mute him.
Um,
Let me see here.
I don't know. Are you in OBS?
No, we're in I'm in OBS, but we're in Zoom, so that's just a one button for all of us, not individualized.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the only thing you could change is your desktop audio, but that would change
That's not gonna do
everyone who
anything.
came in.
Well, you guys just have to deal with it. If you want Calvin here, damn it, he's gonna have to speak loud because he's busy man
That's the issue.
that wears sweaters that
I have
we're
a
all envious
tendency to
of on.
yell.
Yeah. Uh, well, I can turn my mic up, but I mean, turn
Let
your
me
mic.
let me go into my headphone settings and see if there is something.
Let me look at the volume of my mic. I'll try that now. Well, I turned the
Hello,
master
hello.
down and turned in. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I'll do some adjustments. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Okay, keep your questions coming in. We got me and Calvin. I was just talking about that bombshell yesterday of call, man. Holy God, Calvin. You get your thoughts on that, man. I've spoken about it ad nauseum at this point, multiple streams now, about call and TW and the impact that's going to have. Just your overall thoughts, man.
I mean, like, power to them. Like, they don't want to do anymore for the reasons. Good on them, but I don't. I said this on my stream when someone asked me about it yesterday. I can't really separate this from every other, semi boycott we've ever seen. Like, it happens when Datacrons or Relics or whatever comes out, and they come not COB, but like whatever player group comes in, makes their demands. It's a big hype thing, and then it dies out. Like, that's, I don't know. I personally won't read too much into it. It's not really relevant for me. I'm not in a Gauntlet guild, so like it's not. I don't know. Not really. Almost not my business in a sense.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that I know how big of an impact and how big of a deal this is I just said yesterday that CG immediately reached out to call, and what that means I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, because it's a bad look if anything. You can the other stuff you can whatever you want to say, but I mean the look of it is really bad. Um, for players looking to play this game or that are playing this game and they're seeing that the top guild in TW and stuff is saying, yeah, we're sick of this. We're sick of Datacrons. We're sick of TW. No changes. Blah 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 blah. And they're just like, okay, we're done. We're done till Labor Day. Like and then even then we're just going to reevaluate. I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, and there's they might just be fine too because we've already known for a really long time now that they've been looking at redoing the guild PvP style. So by Labor Day, the new system might already be out, and then they can just come back and do that and without any of the issues. So I like I said, it's not. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time thinking about it or
No, but
thinking
it
about
is
like what the
impactful.
consequences are going to be.
Yeah. But see the thing though, this is what drives me crazy about CG. You don't have to say anything, but you can still say something, right? One of the things that drives me nuts is like say you could say this sentence. We're kind of looking at TW, might have something for you here soon, but we are looking at it. We recognize there's some stuff that we need to change about it. We'll let you know more later. Then that way the player base at least knows that there's something in the works or GAC or things of that nature. But the response is, oh, we'll take a look at it. And that doesn't really do anything. That doesn't tell me anything. You're going to look at it. And then, so it's one of those head scratching things, man, where I'm just like, we know they listen to the community, right? With the new
Yeah, to some
raid,
extent.
to some extent, right? With the new raid,
Oh
they
yeah,
changed
oh
the
my gosh, the
rewards.
new raid
Yeah.
is amazing. Like especially from like the reward perspective and like
Yes.
putting the characters under MK2. that like solved a 4 year long problem. Like that was, oh my gosh, was that
Yeah,
good?
big ups. I give them big ups for that. The changes to the gear and the characters were the ones that I mean, that was just a perfect play from CG. Put all those characters from the previous, TVs and raids and stuff in there to where people can use their currency to get that. Perfect. I was like, that's brilliant. The gear, great. You did a great job, and you fixed the rewards so that it's more front loaded than it is back loaded. So yeah, I give them props for that. But yeah, man, it's people are getting burned
Well,
out,
and
dude. People are getting burned out in this game. They really are.
TW is it's such a hard thing to tackle too because there's I just can't give you. I'm sure they can find a way to do it right, like they've done with most of the other game modes. But I mean, there just seem like such huge roadblocks. Like we want you to use your entire roster, but we don't want you to spend 8 hours a day going through 100 teams per zone. We want for you to have competitive matches, but we also want your opponents to have competitive matches, and you don't have to fight the same 6 people. So there are just so many things where they're going to have to get really creative to find good solutions.
Well, I think someone said it last night. I don't know if it was Ram or if it was Heinze or somebody. They had a solution where it's like, just have it like some other games where you have your 50, they have their 50, and then you can pick in who you want to go send your guy to go battle against. And then they have like a certain amount of teams. You just go in there and do the battle, and then it's not as time consuming, and whoever gets the best wins overall, something along those lines. I'm just throwing ideas out there. The way currently the TW set up, it's just it's a lot, man.
Well, and I mean, when it first came out, it was a pretty good design because our rosters were significantly smaller. And on top of that, there were a lot more guilds out there that were around the same level. Now we're at a point where I think there's almost the same amount of guilds there was before, but the variations between them
Huge.
are huge. Yeah,
Big time.
you get up there to, I think there's what, like 2 or 3, 600,000 guilds or something like that. And then you've probably got 100 or so, 500,000. It didn't used to be
500
like
million,
that
yeah.
when it first came out. Did I say 1,000?
Yeah, you're fine. I got you.
Yeah, I do that. Thank you. But yeah, so that's made it a lot harder to be competitive, and it's a little bit of the nature of the beast. But at the same time, I think they can be creative. Like they were, I looked at some other of the game modes that we have right now and how they've been creative with those and how they've been significantly better than the way they were before. I mean, the raid is the
Yeah.
one that's right in our face right now. Like the old mechanic of you competing against your guildmates and not having consistent rewards despite putting in the same amount of effort, that was garbage, man. Like, and the fact that they were able to come up with a solution where you can work together with your guild, still get consistent results, and still feel good about your investment is amazing.
Yeah. I think the raid's fine. I think the new TB is fine. I mean, yeah, it's monotonous at this point, but I mean, you reach a certain stagnation point where it's like, okay, we're at this level until we get enough GP to get to the next level. We're kind of like just working on our rosters,
Yeah,
So,
and I mean,
I mean,
for me, TB it's super boring until I get a new team, and then it's really fun for a week, and then it goes back to being super boring, and I
yeah,
get a new team, and it's like Trench and Afra. I unlocked that Trench, a month or two ago or whatever, and then Afra recently. And like, playing around with them one time in the TB is kind of fun. And then I go to auto in it forever.
yeah. Hellenic says, question for the awesome one. If you wanted to choose one over the other, would you first bring your Hut Cartel characters to Relic 8 or finish farming gearing your Inquisitor so you can unlock Grand Inquisitor?
Oh yikes!
That's a tough one. I would
That
say Hut Cartel myself because you can get, well, it depends on what your guild is though. Like,
exactly what I was gonna say. That's what it's gonna come down to.
I mean, if you're hitting 130 million or you're close and you getting Hut Cartel to get 2.7 to get that additional stuff for your guild, then by all means get Hut Cartel up first. Because Inquisitor's about to become open all season with the Grand Inquisitor event coming permanent, right? But if you're not,
Yeah, there's really good arguments to both. Like,
yeah,
because Riva or getting your Inquisitors Riva ready. That's important because you don't get Riva instantly. That has to something that comes out over time. It'll take you a few months depending on where your guild's at. But at the same time, if you don't do Hut Cartel up to like high relics, you're essentially passing up also on an extended time of rewards from the raid. So what you said, Ranger, it depends what your guild wants to do.
yeah,
If your guild is making a consistent effort for, I don't know where to put the marker, 25, 30 plus Riva shards, I think you should really help them. Like put your Inquisitors there. And really, Inquisitors and Jabba, the nice thing about both of these, they're not garbage outside of the guild stuff. Like the
No,
Reva
they're pretty
team
solid. Oh my
and
god, the Reva
Jabba
team.
and PvP are both very good. Like arguably two of the best teams in the entire game right now. And not just from a guild perspective, but yeah. And then on the other hand, if your guild is really making like a push for 130 or 260 million, and like, hey, everyone has to do their part, you have to get this average, and your path to do that is Jabba, then yeah, you go for Hut Cartel. So see what your guild's doing. I'm probably slightly inclined on Inquisitors just because of the time. But if your guild's trying to make a push for a new box, help them do that first.
Yeah, so he just wrote in there, yeah. We're from the over 130 mark at crate rate, and we're 2/3 of the way to Reva. I fear that by the time I get the Inquisitors done, we'll have Reva done already. Well, still, you can still go help other people invent. I mean, it's still Reva. So, the thing about the Hut Cartel is just such a vital piece, because I also think of outside of the raid, although it's vital for the raid, because that's your number one team you're going to get the most points with, and it's easy 2.7. I mean, that team
it's super
claps. Easy. But he's also needed in every mission in the middle zone, the mixed zone in TB. You have the Smuggler's Run 2, which is absolutely phenomenal to get. Plus, he's phenomenal with a lot of the feats in Conquest. I mean, the Hut Cartel just overall as a faction, job as a GL, on top of these, as you said, a really good team, you just get so much shit over time with that team that's just hard to put down. But then you have to balance that with like, yeah, but Reva. Because Reva's bloody damn good too, man.
And Inquisitors, they have their own assault battle. They have their own TB missions. They have I guess they kind of have some things in Conquest, but was more brutal. As long as Amplify Agony stays, you starting the match and the entire team just has 6 things of whatchamacallit, it's like 10-second matches. So I guess the TLDRs both are really stinking good.
Yeah. So yeah, if your guild's at 130 million, you're 2/3 of the way. If you're comfortable at 130 million for right now, then and your guild's fine with that, then go get Reva, because she's really good, man. I cannot stress you guys, especially in TW. Oh my god, Reva is nasty, man. She's nasty in GAC. You have to use a top tier team to beat it. I mean, yeah, you can use Treya, but that's. You look at
but Treya is like the only budget counter. If your opponent wants to do anything else with Treya, they're screwed.
Yeah. It forces him to have to use something. Now I've been using Lord Vader with the protection cron to destroy, because he will. But yeah, it's a nasty team. I mean, I've been watching the matches and they're using top stuff on my Reva team. They're not even pretending to fuck around. They're just like, okay, it's Reva. Let's not, because you don't want to give that turn meter on that train on that team either. So yeah. What did you ask? Question for Ranger from Helly says, you see, Ranger, I can and do ask Sears questions. Unrelated. Can you tell him slow at work? I'm sure that's coming through. Yeah, I can tell. The more interactions I get from Helly, the more I know he's having a slow day at work. Yes. Sure. I would take an Relic 7, Helly, because then you can get the 1.8. Getting Hut Cartel to Relic 7 is still a good play, but I mean, if you're going to go for Inquisitors, get them up first. I mean, if your guild's at 130, you're on your way to the next level, then in your ways away, then I would finish up your Inquisitors. And then, because you can get your Inquisitors up and go back in, round out your Hut Cartel, and then those should be your 2 things, whichever order of operations is best for you. CobraCast, this question, if I'm farming a new GL and a meta fleet and a special legendary and new raid teams, all prescribed by CG,
Yikes.
I'll do Relic 7, 8. How am I ever supposed to catch up on old GLs and fleets? You've got to be strategic about this, Calvin. Okay. Okay.
I mean, like the short answer is you don't. Like, and I know that's not like really what anyone wants to hear, but for context, I've been playing this game for 5.5 years. I probably started somewhere on the Treya meta. I, for the first time ever, as of this week, have every character in the game. Like, it took me 5.5 years to catch up. And that's not like, I'm not trying to be discouraged or anything like that, but like my perspective over these last, it takes time, and your perspective really shouldn't be that you have to be caught up to be good. Like, you should have specific goal markers in your mind that you want to move to, and then be satisfied when you get to them. Like, all right, you don't have all 7 GLs, that's fine, but you want Java, and you get Java, and you bask in how great that is and everything that it can do. Like, I really would encourage people to let go of this concept of being caught up, because it's almost really like non-existent. Like, if you talk to Aesop, the guy who's been sitting at like the top spot for GAC, he has 14 things in his favorites. He doesn't feel caught up, and he has a 13 million roster. So but back to your point, Ranger, you have to be strategic. You have to know what things are the best value, both in regards to team farming as well as where to get all the gear and relic levels and stuff like that.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, it's a resource management game.
It
And
is.
even if you spend, you still have to manage your resources wisely. Like, for instance, if you look at my favorites, I've got 5 in there, but that's mainly for mods. So what am I farming right now? I decided that I was going to skip the Tuscans, mainly because Tuscan Chieftain I didn't want to invest in. I'm farming him. He's almost 6 stars, but he's slow, right? Same thing with Zori. I didn't invest in Zori. The other thing is gear too. So that's star levels. So I'm working on stuff for Jedi Survivor. So what do I have to do for that? Well, I got to get the characters to 7 stars, so I use shipments, and then I save all gear for those characters. I've got Cal at 7, and Seer, and all Marin Relic. I'm just finishing up the stars on Tarful and Sol, which I'll have in a week or two, and then I'll take them to Relic, because I'm not going to just take them to gear 12 because I plan on using them. But that means I didn't go after the Tuscans, even though I have Warriors 7 stars. They're just not investing in that team, because I can't do enough card techs and farming to do both. I've got Sortie and Trench sitting at 7 stars. I haven't done anything with them. Again, I got to be strategic with what I'm going for and when I'm going for it, and gear. I mean, gear is a big part of it. Mainly just chirotex and their signal data. Um, so yeah, and at the same time, I took a bunch of characters to Relic 8. I took the Hut Cartel to Relic 8. I took Armor to Relic 7 and got her up and running for the crate raid. So yeah, you have to be smart about it. You can't chase everything. Like for me, I'm
Yeah.
like, if I get Cal Jedi Survivor, I think that's going to be a really dope ass character, and I'm having a huge success with the investment of Cal and Seer and Ahsoka on defense and GAC. Got me another hold or 2 last night. I mean, it's really good. But that means I don't have Tuscans. That means I can't do all that momentum shit and other things. But it's a trade. But you can't.
Yep.
Going for 4 things is crazy. You got to be smart about like what you're going to go after. Like if you're going for a GL and you say you're going for the Metaflate, I'm like, cool. Worry about the Relic 7s and 8s later. You can work on 3 things. You can work on relic levels, you can work on stars for characters, and you can work on your fleets. But you can't do more than that. And you try to tie it all in together so it makes sense. Like you say, you're going to go Executor. You can work on your bounty hunters at the same time and get that team up and running. And then say at the same time, I'm going to work on Hut Cartel. You just have to be smart about what you do and what resources, and you gotta skip some shit. I'll go back and work on the Tuscans when I get them up. Like I'm even skipping Tuscans because I've got Mary now. I'm doing Night Sisters after Cal Jedi Survivor. I mean, I would be stupid not to, because Marin makes that Night Sister team gross. The thing hits up hard. So I'm going to take relics. I'm like the Night Sisters gear 12, take them up, get them relicked, have a nice team. But I can't do Night Sisters and the Cal's Jedi team at the same time for gear. I just can't get Chirotex fast enough. I'm not going to spend for Chirotex. So that's. You any other good advice for friend Cobra?
So I think one thing from a practical standpoint, because we've been talking a lot about, the concept of it. For one of the things that I've done, and this isn't entirely for everyone, but especially for people who are trying to catch, but I think one thing that is important is to not spend node refreshes trying to get a character faster. Do the slow farm, take the 5-6 months, whatever it is, for that character to go all the way up to the 7 stars. And while you're doing that with the new character, go back and relic up your Hut Cartel, your raid team, or whatever. Because what ends up happening that I've seen with a few people is they speed so quickly to get these new characters like Marin or the Tuscans or whatever, and then they end up at this impasse where like, okay, my Tuscans are ready, so I need to like pump them full of Kairos and relics, but I also already need to do that with my Hut Cartel or my Inquisitors, and they just end up getting they put themselves in a bad situation where there's not good value Whereas if they took the time to farm them over 6 months, not only would they save their crystals, but then they were only doing one thing at a time. So I mean, not for everyone, but it's something that has worked very, very well for my account. I think the last character I accelerated shard wise was Adrad for the Profundity Fleet.
Yeah. So Cobra Cast follow up says you don't have to be caught up to be good. Agreed, but to engage.
Oh, 100% no. Yeah, definitely.
But to engage in new content that comes out in the last year, you have to be focused on new stuff. Agree with Calvin. Just feels bad. Yeah, you just have to pick and choose your battles, man. I mean, I can't even do all the new content. I mean, new assault comes out for Tuscans. I just know I can't get the level 10 crate. It's just impossible. So it's like, okay, but I got my Hut Cartel up, so I'm getting other rewards from other things. So, go ahead, Calvin.
What? What's that?
You were saying something, and I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was just going back to your point of like, one thing at a time, pick what you want to do, what you think is the best value for you, and try to enjoy it, I guess yeah.
Contingent 33 question. What is the speed order for the Mandalorian team for crate?
It's armor first.
Yeah, so you want armor to get you want as fast as possible. So now I do the relic 7 fight. The crate dragon is going to go first. In that fight. It likes to throw up on you immediately. But yeah, you want armor as fast as you can make her because you got to get that armor showed on. And get those stacked up as quickly as possible. That makes a big difference in the fight for that 1 point. Armor than Maul, I want to say.
So if armor goes first, Maul will automatically go second because of frenzy, right. And Canderous goes third. So the charts that I've seen, and I'm not an expert on crate raid or Mandalorians for crate raid, but the charts that I've seen, the only specific thing for turn order that I've seen is armor. I think I don't do this. I know this is a crazy number, but they're like 360 speed plus because I think that's actually how fast you need to be to get ahead of the crate dragon. Because you do that, Maul does his AoE. Canderous will have enough turn meter now. He'll use his AoE, trigger Maul again, and then you get your first big setup. I don't really, from a concept of turn order, I don't think there is much beyond armor going super freaking fast because you get turn meter from Maul and Canderous to kind of do the rest. I think we're just from, again, the stuff that I've seen, there's just generic speeds of like, you want BAM 300, but I don't think that's for his turn order because like you said, other than the turn meter you're getting, the dragon's going to throw up on you and you're not going to get there's not something that can happen in between there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps you a little bit there. It's a pain in the ass to do. I've got to redo. Mine's like 330 something, but I've got some slicing to do on my mods. It's like, well, shit. It's like I gotta get pick up some more speed for her. I'm still getting it, but I gotta get a little bit of RNG because I don't have armor quite fast enough. So it's like, okay, you win this time. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you just have to work on your mods, slice your mods, all that stuff. It's just like, oh Christ. Yeah, what can you do? What can men do against such reckless hate? I don't know. All right, so get your questions in, and we'll continue on this. CobraCast says, question, if you heard about Call quitting TW because of burnout, do you have opinions on it? Yeah, you go back in the beginning of the video.
Yeah,
we talked about it already. So you can go back. Cool thing with YouTube is you can go back and listen to what we said. Even live, you can go back and scroll back and listen to what we said, or you can just wait till the videos and then go back and listen to CobraCast. So we did acknowledge it. No, they can't be like India Venom. You're a madman. Eva says you don't want to use Canderous AoE first. No, you don't. Oh, it says you want to use basic, and then Bam gets enough turn meter from the momentum. He gets dots being applied. Bam does oops dance. Then Maul goes ham. Okay, all right, there you go. Get some good information from Evo the Extraordinary. Hey, Ghost Track, my fellow guildie. All right, keep getting your questions in. You got me, you got Calvin. We'll see if anybody else shows up there. We're doing the Jedi Academy. We didn't do it last weekend. Hope we had a good Memorial Day weekend there, Calvin.
Oh yeah, it was really, really nice.
Very nice. Good, relaxing. How's that GAC going for you overall? What's your record so far?
It's going really well. So this month isn't too hot. I think I'm like 2 and 3 or something. Yeah, that's right, 2 and 3. But I've been on such a hot streak these last couple months. I've been able to climb so high. Like last season was 7 and 2, and I did
Nice.
that all while maintaining Kyber 1. So that was huge for me because I thought my time in Kyber 1 was done. I thought that the squish is going to push me down. I'm not going to be able to get back up, and then that happened and just sprung way back up. So like I can lose this entire week and still not drop down to Kyber 2. So that's going really well. Yeah, just doing some fun things. Like I've really liked a lot of the Asajj Omicron right now for Night Sisters, even without Marin. I mentioned it towards the beginning of the stream, but I think my audio was a little weird. I've used it twice now. Just Relic 5 DACA, Asajj Omicron. I've been killing Zori teams like with the Zori Kron,
Yeah.
fully relict, whatever. Just oh man, it is so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't care about Kyber 1 anymore because I usually go 5 and 4, 6 and 3, Calvin. Get into Kyber 1, squished back to Kyber 2. It happens every single GAC. I'm just like, okay, I give up. It's like I give up. I'm just done. Like I'm about to, because I'm 4 and 1 right now. I'm about to be Kyber 1 again, going into the finals for this GAC. And I'm like, I'll get into Kyber 1. I'll finish 6 and 3, 5 and 4, whatever. But that squish, it's always 70 points or something. It just kicks me right below Kyber 1 to the Kyber 2. I'm like, oh, God's sakes. What's the point? I've had 9, 10 straight GACs where I've had a winning record, and I'm still at the same point. It's like I'm just in a loop where I just stay in the same spot, top of Kyber 2, next to Kyber 1, and I can't get past it. And I'd have to go. I think me and Carth were looking at. I'd have to go 7 and 2, depending on which ones I win, or 8 and 1 for me to break the cycle.
That's the other thing that is something really interesting that winning at the beginning, and I really think that should go away because I think it manipulates a little bit. Winning at the end and winning at the beginning can change how high you go, and there's actually a certain point where you want to win more. They get you less higher because then you don't have as hard of competition.
Yeah.
But you're still getting the winning crystals. I need a count ranger because I think that's what I've been doing because I think in like the last 6 months, I think I've only had one negative season where I went like 4 and 5. The rest have all been positive, and my position hasn't changed. And it's not even just because of the squish, but I think because I have been consistently winning the later ones in the month.
Yeah.
So I'm just not going as high, which is I kind of prefer it. I would rather win more and make less progress because the winning crystals are a lot.
Yes, they are.
But
it does fun things like me getting saw and stuff that I from the shipments. Trust me. Yeah. Benny Lau. Question. Best GL Ray and Ben lineup and Zori team after that. I mean, Zori's pretty straightforward. It's the OG. It's the ideal. So we'll leave.
It does. There's two variations I've seen for Zori.
Yeah. Which one do you prefer?
I don't know which one I prefer. I don't know really.
I think the Persh brothers with Finn, with Zori, and
I've typically seen like the both sets of brothers. So Finn and Poe and Finn and Poe.
Yeah, with Zori. Yeah, it's a nasty team. You don't want to mess around with that team. Ray is a different story because there's so many variations.
She changes every month.
Dude, because she's like Kylo, you can put so many different pieces on there. I've seen Ray with L3, Barriss, Ben, and Cal. I've seen Ray with
right now
JTR,
the hardest variation.
Holdo, Ben, and Cal. I've seen no Cal and just like L3, Holdo, JTR, Ben, and Ray. I've seen it's the gauntlet, dude.
Yeah, hers does rotate every month. The hardest one that I've seen this season was Cal, Seer, and JTR and Ben. Like that one, I had an 85% protection card on my JML. I couldn't make a dent with my leader ability. Like
Oh.
it had so much health and recovery between Cal and Seer, and then everything that Ray and Ben typically do. But yeah, like last month it was Sortie, and next month it'll probably be something else.
But now I've been using Star Killer. I do have the Mary J Datacron, so that makes, I don't care what they put down there. We've been winning with that, so I'm happy with that. And I prefer, I use a more traditional array. I'll go Ben, Ray, and then other pieces, but it ain't Cal, because that UFU team of Seer, Cal, Ahsoka, and then 2 tanks, UFU tanks. I'm using Ninth Sister and crew, is giving people fits. And we're getting holds with it. And if we're not getting holds, because they went in there with some high level GL that they use there, and then they get hosed on one of my other teams. So I prefer the UFA team. I'm having good luck with it in TW and GAC, but that's a big investment. I mean, you'll have ninth and crew, but to make that team work, you want, and the Omicron. So you want Sears Omicron. You've got Cal in there, and then you've got Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, because she hits ridiculously hard with that team. It is stupid how hard she hits. She'll terrorize you. And it's a good team on defense. And I'll go, Ray Ben, and then whatever I feel like. Eventually I'd love to put Sortie in there, but but
I mean, her cron's about to go away too, so
yes,
you probably don't want to do that anymore.
No, I'm not even, Sortie's just one of those characters, like, it's like, okay, I'll work on her when I work on her, but yeah, that Night Sister team I got Marin, dude, I'm just chomping at the bit, man. I'm just like, man, as soon as I get these last 2 characters up for Jedi Cal Survivor, I'm like, it's Night Sister time. I've seen the Night Sisters do some crazy good work against a lot of teams, man. I mean,
I love Night Sisters, man.
The 8 teams with Marin, dude, they handle it no problem. And they could even punch up. Someone was telling me there's a couple GLs that thing can hit up toward and just do crazy stuff, because they're so hard to kill with Marin in there. And that plague, man, it's crazy.
The plague healing immunity combo is so gross, because plague means that you can't naturally cleanse. You have to heal to get rid of the plague. And healing immunity, you have to cleanse it, and you can't heal. So if you land both plague and healing immunity on a character and neither of them will go away, it's just a death sentence.
Yeah.
Like that's how I beat the Zori team the other day. Is as long as both land on the same character, that it's just a death sentence. They are going to die.
It's insanity, dude. It's so good. I'm all in like Flynn on the Night Sisters. Marriage is the game changer. Now of all the characters, I think Seer and Cal, the combination is really good. Marin is next level for the Night Sisters. Saw decent. Tarful, pretty good. But it's kind of like what we had the Star Killer. I mean, certain characters just were really bloody good, and some were really solid. Like Dash and Kyle really elevated their teams to new heights. Talon was okay. She does good work. Mary Jade's the top of the list, right? So you get,
Talon aged better too, because when Talon came out, we didn't have Malgus or Treacron. No. So she was kind of meh, but both those 2 characters she's been wonderful support on both of them.
Yeah. And you have to have her if you're going to go face Reva with Treya. Or not good.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not good. All right. Hit the thumbs up, guys. If you have questions, keep those questions coming in. And make sure you put the word question for your actual question statement. You got me and Calvin. We'll see if anybody else pops in. You never know. They just pop in. Yeah, Nathaniel Morgan right now, Saul's okay. With the characters. He's not bad. He's not great either. He's okay.
It's really early to tell. Like both him and Tarful, the amount of people that have them are very few, and we don't know if they're doing it right or if they're using it defensively or offensively. Like it's a little early to say, I think, for them, but I'm a little concerned, kind of like you were saying. There was ones that are better than others as far as requirements go. I'm afraid, and actually it's kind of fine because it means I have to gear less stuff, but I have been extremely disappointed in Sana for whatchamacallit. Like I beat a Sonacron. I beat a Sana team with the Datacron, the whole right team, Stormtrooper Han, Nest, Rolo, whatever. I beat it with Phasma last night. Like it was kind of a Hail Mary. and we just destroyed them. Like that, I was very, very disappointed in it.
Oh, I went in there with my Wampacron last night and ate it for dinner. I was like, oh, you put that team down. Wampa Wampa. Because, yeah, they go first, but with Wampa and you got the level 8, the protection recovery,
Mm-hmm.
they die. They just fell
Well,
over from the dots. I was just like,
and they have tenacity down, but if they don't have Captain Han in there, they don't have a daze, so it doesn't matter. Like,
and you
okay, you
can't.
have
And it's
tenacity
almost
down,
impossible.
so
Yeah,
what?
it's hard to land on Wampa because if you haven't modded correctly with the tenacity and he gets that boost, it's like, even if he does hit it, the
Oh, yeah,
dots, yeah, with that Datacron with the protection, it's
mm-hmm.
silly because they're constantly getting dots and he's constantly getting stacks of protection, and I don't think they can cleanse that or off of him or debuff or the spell.
Oh,
That team,
dispel it.
not with the team.
I don't know Sauna's kit well enough, but the
I don't
surrounding
think
team
so.
should. Because I
No,
don't think Captain Han, Rolo,
no.
Stormtrooper. I guess if they put Nest in there, like the one I fought last night had Nest in it. But
Then
even then, like, I don't know.
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, I've got on defense, but I know that's I got to put something down on defense. You're just like, okay. Um, I think it got a whole. Let me look real quick, but I think that's because he had used so much stuff and didn't have the right piece for it. If that's the case, you can get good value out of it, but it's definitely a backline team. But yeah, anytime I see that team down, I'm like, well, Wampa's going to go eat. That's very nice. It's like, thanks for the points. Yeah, I had 2 holds with last night. Now I'm using 2 tanks. So I'm using Sana, Rolo, Captain Han, but I'm also using Cara Dune, and I'm using Hoth Rebel Soldier in there. So I've got 2 tanks in there. But Wampa's still going to destroy that. I'm sorry. They just can't. Yeah, you can say use Phasma. It's just a lot of stuff that can take it out.
That's a really low bar.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
So all I have to say, I'm afraid, and we don't know this yet, but I'm afraid someone in Cal's group is going to have like that level of viability where you're probably going to get them to gear 12 to get Cal,
Yeah.
and then they're just going to sit there. I kind of, man, I would be okay with. I almost hope with Saw because I feel like I have less of his requirements for his team, or maybe Tarvo because if Saw is good, then I get well, yeah, Tarvo would probably be better to be bad because he's the only requirement that doesn't have a get special mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saw, Marin, and Cal and Seer all have one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully Tarvo's team is bad. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, yeah, but I mean, from what I'm hearing, once you get Clone Wars Chewie up and then Zalbar and everybody, it's actually Carson is actually a pretty decent team, but still early stages to really know, right? So,
and that one could get some lifters too. Like they could get another Wookiee that could probably take them to the next level.
A question from Helenix. It says, for both of our amazing guys on our screen, a 7-star TIE Dorito and have all the Sith characters that were like 5 minimum, but I only have 170-ish Malgus ship shards. Am I screwed on getting Leviathan? First come around? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I think it's going to be like the other ships. It'll be monthly. You can go in there and get it. So if you can't get it right off the pitch, still should be fine. If I'm
and I mean, I think I'm trying to remember how many I think it's like half the amount or something like that. If you still go ham on the rest of Conquest, you can end at 290, so you'll be 40 stars short, and that'll be one more Conquest to gain at a half rate. Yeah, so as long as you're like really like determined with Conquest from here on out, you'll get it a month late.
Yeah, at minimum. But if you're getting Gold Crate, say it takes you another 3 months. All right, you're a little behind the meta. But I mean, we still have another ship coming, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a galactic chase. So there's that. Did you get your Dorito to 7 stars? I got mine to 7 stars. It's like, yay.
Oh, I was pretty happy they did that. I'm a little, and this is like super negative on my part, but I'm a little afraid they made this one super easy, and we're all gonna have committed, and the next one's not, and it's gonna be because I don't know about you, but I was able to almost do this one specifically with 50s and 100s. I think I had to do 3 or 4 200 refreshes, so like amazing value, like just super good. Like that's better than shipments. A lot of those might actually be better than when it actually goes to the node. But I'm a little afraid the next one, it's going to be a chase.
Yeah.
But are the drop rates going to be 2% instead of 3?
They'll try to milk it, man. Come on. I mean, and if the Illuminati's, if I know them, they're gonna definitely try to hose me. So it was feast or famine on the drop rates. Like one, I get 10, then I get 2, then I get 9, then I get 1 or 2.
That was
like,
one of the sweet parts about this one being 9 days long, though,
that was
because there was
true.
there's a higher chance the RNG will equal out over time. Because sometimes when these are like 1 or 2 days, you can't just get boned.
No, you're a boy. All right, Nathan H. Question: which well-known Star Wars characters are not in the game?
Oh, I know the answer.
Well, we already saw in chat Jar Jar, but I don't want Jar Jar. What's your
So,
answer?
according to our good friend Alda Sandfly,
Oh no.
the characters with the most, yeah, the characters in the films with the most lines that are still not in game. There's two. There's two that are like really high up on the in the films and lines that are not in there, and it is Jar Jar, and the other one is Tobias Beckett. Like those two
Oh really?
are,
That's
yeah, those
true.
two are essentially anomalies when it comes to characters in the movies that aren't in game.
But if you go Star Wars, like when you say well known just in general, well known in like Star Wars fandom, um, there is a shit ton of characters, depending on your level of knowledge on Star Wars, that are not in this game. Like I can just say Darth Bane. Most of you know who the hell I'm talking about, right? Darth Bane Zana. That's a pair right there. Um,
Well, and there's even some variations of
yeah,
characters we already have. Like, we don't need to go into GLA or anything like that, but like we could use other variations of Leia. And the character that I want the most, that we'll never get because it doesn't really make any sense, but it's Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 1. Like,
I know.
I would love Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 1. Phantom Menace.
Um, but I mean, I could list out a buttload of characters from my knowledge, not even the movies. And the other thing too is, with the shows, we will get influx of new characters from the shows. Like I
Yeah,
guarantee you, after Ahsoka comes out, 6 to 9 months after that, we're gonna start seeing characters from the Ahsoka series because the entire Phoenix team minus Kanan is coming back. We've already seen Zeb in the show. That blew me away, dude. I thought it was Zeb when I first looked at it in the last season of Mando. I was like, looks and sounds a lot like Zeb. Who is that? It was Zeb. I was like, what the? I was right. Holy crap. Um, so we'll have an influx from those characters, but it also depends on what direction. We know I'm still banking on it. We're going to get Endor characters from Return of the Jedi. It'll be Captain Han, or sorry, General Han, General Lando, characters like that that'll be brought in the game. Hopefully, Scout Trooper from the Empire. That'd be nice to get finally. For GLA. So you have that plus, but there's so much stuff, and we've got High Republic and the Acolyte and a bunch of other stuff coming out. But there's so much stuff in the lore that's they've brought in that is not that is Legends material. Some we'll never get, uh, but
some
they've
of the
got,
really obscure stuff.
yeah. I mean, like Jason and Jaina Solo are never coming.
No.
No, as much as I love those characters, we're just not getting into the Solo kid. Um, the Vushin,
Maybe if we didn't have this huge influx of content, both between shows and the upcoming movies and like the video games, like even I won't bring any names up. Like for Survivor, like that game has potential to bring more characters in the game.
yes, yeah. No spoilers. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they're like just general fact, and then yeah, what you said too. Typically 6 to 9 months after the show comes out, they give us something from it. Which, by the way, huge props to CG from a design point of view. How they're able to work in the new characters into their I don't want to sound negative, like money making schemes has actually been super impressive. Like Book of Boba Fett came out, and they're like, okay, so we want Chrysanthemum in the game, but we also want a Galactic Legend in the game. How can we make this work? And like,
Yeah,
it did it really well. Or like the Obi-Wan series came out, and they're like, right, we want Inquisitors in the game, and we have this new TV coming out. Like, how can we make this work? And they've done a really good job.
If they could just make the kits work the first time they come out, that would be nice.
Yes,
God, this was
there's
such a
that other
job.
piece, but for like the whole their roadmap has been like putting that all together. I found very impressive.
Yeah, but I still think we're going to get Satil Shan as the next Conquest character. We had Malgus. I still think they're going to balance it out because Old Republic needs a boost, right? The faction. I think Satil's going to be added.
Do you think she would be? Do you think she would be an old Republic
Old Republic
like
Jedi.
so? But would her team just be that like similar to like Malgus's team needs to be ideally all Sith and preferably all Sith Empire? Do you
I think
think?
it'll be all Jedi. And she's a Jedi master,
But
so
but is she going to require Old Republic? Like, are you going to lose half
yes.
the kit if you're not Old Republic?
I think they're going to be Old Republic and Jedi, like Sith Empire, that kind of thing. You'll get bonuses for Jedi, but you get if they're actually like Sith Empire, you can use like Talon on the Malgus team and it works, and you get bonuses, but it's not the same as the Sith Empire kind of
Yeah.
bonuses. I think that's what they're going to do
Okay,
with
I
her
can see
too.
that.
Yeah.
So do you think it'll be more aimed at GAC since because then the ideal
No.
team is going to be Satil, Revan,
Yeah.
Bessla, Jolie, and Juhani probably, right?
Yeah.
So I'd imagine she'd be more aimed at GAC
Most
because Juhani
likely,
is kind of
yeah.
tied to Starkiller.
As a counter to Malgus kind of thing, as a team that you can put together that can do some good work for you. Um, so that really boost up that Old Republic Jedi team and Old Republic in general. It'll be for the raid, it'll be for GAC, that kind of thing. Um,
Oh, that's a really good point though. It could really be more raid oriented
sure.
because like the raid has essentially been, air quotes figured out as far as max damage, but the team that is the most pain in the butt to get damage with out of the top 5 is the Jedi, like the Jedi Knight Revan team. Like
Yeah,
it's like the most RNG dependent out of the 5 right now.
I'm happy if I get 900,000. I'm like, okay, that's all I need. I don't even try with that team, dude. It's just like, just give me 700 to 900,000. I'm happy, because at that point, and I do need to get Mission up because she's the one that on that team will really do good work for you. And I don't have her there yet. So,
That would be really sweet though. If she was the next Conquest character, she did her thing for Old Republic and GAC, and she made the Old Republic's raid viability, or not viability, but like made it significantly easier.
yeah, or yeah, you get significantly better scores with it. So, and that'll help guilds get to that 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 260 mark or the 130 mark, depending on which one they're working with. If we're talking Star Wars, Old Republic, I'd like the Trooper Commander. Yeah, there's a lot of characters from the Old Republic that they can still bring in. The entire Old Republic timeline, we haven't even scratched the surface of characters that we can bring in this game. Like
we've scratched KOTOR 1 and almost KOTOR 2. Like that's where we're at right
a
now.
little bit of the Old Republic. That's Darth Malgus and the Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin. Those are all designs from the Old Republic MMORPGs, including the ships. That isn't even talking about the other characters from that game. We have the entire Eternal Throne family they can make a faction with. We've got the entire, oh god, we can go down the list. Just the Old Republic in general. You have Exar Kun, you got Ula Quildroma, Nomi Star Rider. You've got all the Sith, Fresh, Nada, Tulak Horde. I mean, you can go down the line of characters they can bring in that would just be ridiculous for different factions. You even go Mandos. You go Mandalore the Ultimate, Mandalore the First.
Oh
Mandalore,
yikes! Yeah,
Mandalore
we need that. We need Mandos need a leader that doesn't get tied to Lord Vader half the time.
So you tell me. But we will get some influx of characters from the shows, but then we'll get influx of a character here and there that will round out some stuff. It's always weird what they do in that Christmas time frame, the holidays, because we're past the point of the GL, and we always get like a legendary character at that time because they're kind of sticking to the same cadence that they did last year.
Yeah, they are, and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, both for them and for us.
Yeah, it does. And they can go any direction in that time frame. Like last year, we got Dr. Afro. The year before that, we got Starkiller. I think that's their window.
It is,
Besides
yeah.
individual characters, that they can bring in like 5 awesome characters for a faction and a new legendary character that they've been thinking about outside of what they're working on. Because I think that's what's going to be the play. We got the Cal event coming probably end of this month, beginning of July. End of July into August, we'll get the capital ship, whatever that's going to
Yep.
be.
Leviathan.
And then we'll start getting the marquees and the announcement of the GL into September, October, right?
Sounds right. Yep.
And then November, December will be whatever new character they're going to be. And then at that point, Ahsoka had already come out. So January, February, March of next year, if they're going to do anything with any new characters from the show, that'll be the time that they do that. Maybe even toward a legendary, or like we have right now with Cal. So we'll see, like they did with Inquisitors, they'll do something maybe with Ahsoka with the new crew as a legendary Ahsoka or something. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they've got plenty of options.
I mean, we just had Mando season 3. There's a whole bunch of shit that they can bring in.
Oh, that actually might be what January and February might be more.
Could be.
If they want to delay the Ahsoka stuff for maybe even like an Ahsoka. Oh, maybe they don't want to do that. I was gonna say Galactic Legend, but they might wait for the movie to do that.
But we got from Mando season 3 a bunch of characters and upgrades to characters that they can bring in for the show. There's a lot of characters that they can bring in. So we'll just wait and see. I mean, me and Cal have been doing this long enough. We've seen the patterns enough that we have a pretty general good idea of like what's their direction when it comes to character releases and or events. So yeah, I mean things can change, but for the most part, we're pretty
sure. Yeah,
we're on the cadence of the character releases and stuff of what they're doing.
Well, and they found a way, and this is really smart on their part too, to monetize things without with it being predictable. Like when Chrysanthemum came out, they were like, "All right, Jabba the Hutt's coming. These characters like Boosh or whatever, they're not going to be farmable. So either pay up or wait 6 months or whatever." And it works. Like people did.
Yeah, I had no problem with it. I mean, I got Jabba not when he came out because the characters weren't. One wasn't even in shipment, so I had to wait.
No, yeah, they were not farmable.
Yeah, they weren't farmable, but I always get them out of shipments anyway if I'm going for them. So I had to wait a couple weeks, got him unlocked. I had Jabba like 3 to 4 weeks after he got released. I was okay with it. I don't have a problem with that, So it's like, and I think you guys should be okay with that too. Unless you're going to spend a fortune on these gambling packs, which I highly recommend you don't buy because they are awful. You're actually smarter in saving money spending $300 to $500 on gambling packs. Take the vault, use it to get them out of shipments 2 weeks later. It's a much better deal than going $300 for the gambling pack. I don't at this point. I mean, such a gotcha thing, that mechanic. Between 5 and 330. But if you look at the percentages, I mean, of course, it's true. I get screwed, Calvin, with the Illuminati. I've never. That's why I'm known for Swevens. But you could get lucky. You could get 330. That ain't
Don't
me.
bank on it. Like if you're doing those packs up front, you are accepting a $300 character. Like you do not bank on getting lucky.
That is not me. That is not your boy Ranger. I do not get lucky. So it's like I'm farming. I'll get Saw and Tarfold to 6 stars this week, my crystals and stuff, and then I'll take 1 up to 7 1 week and then 7 the next. Just wait, get them to relic and be ready for the Cal event. It's the same thing I did with Inquisitors. Farmed them out of shipments, got them up and running, just invested the gear, had them sitting there waiting for the event, which took forever to get here. That's what I think. That's just a better better use of your money.
I mean, to each person. I mean, if you do it that way, you're paying less than half. Like I think shipments, if you do the vault conversion, it's like less than $150. So
yeah,
and if you can time that right to get the event, then yeah, that's a huge savings. But I mean, people do what they want, and that's fine. It's their money. But like even with Tie Dagger, man, I saw some people that just went to the gamble packs day one and just bought it for $300. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, this literally would cost you $20 if you just did the refreshes every day. Like, I mean, like, just again, people do it with their money, it's their choice. But from like a value perspective, I just can't fathom that.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the discretionary money, you don't care, go for it. I'm all for
Yeah,
you spending money. It's your money, use it when
sure,
you
yeah.
want. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm like, I just try to be smart. I mean, I can't well out like others, so I have to be smart about like how I go about getting these characters. And it's like I can't get every new character. I have to be smart about who I do go for, and when I do go for them, what am I going to get the most bang for my buck? And for me, it's like I'm going to spend a vault. Okay, cool. Now I can go get all these characters. I have to wait a week and 2 weeks, to get them the 7 stars. But then it's like, yeah, order my gear. Just wait. Bam, they're ready. So yeah. Hey Bobus, this is nice crate score, Mr. Ranger. Yeah, I did pretty well. I did 5 point whatever I did, 5.4. I could have done much better, but I didn't give a shit. I was like, okay. We're not close to I'll go higher if we get closer to the 260 crate. We're not quite there yet. I don't know where we're at. I still think we have people that haven't. Let me look at this real quick. Where are we at? Just for curious state, I'll tell you guys. That's Rise of the Empire. Why did you go there? I said Guild Rage, you son of a. We
I
got
do that all the
9.
time.
Yeah, I got 5.4. Didn't really, go all in. Let me see how many people do we still have left to attack. We have a lot of people that still haven't. Yeah, we got like we have 4 that haven't even bothered, and like half the guild that needs to do more attacks. So I wish they would. You can tell they just did job and said, "I'm good." They have 2.7s in there, Calvin. It's like, and we're at 170 million. So if everybody, I mean, we're pushing it, but I just want to see what I could do, just fucking around, and I got 5.4. I could have done better, but I didn't really try. I went in there with Job and Mandos, and then I was like, okay, let me just see what else I can do, and then yeah,
Well, that's kind of the sweet spot for your guild too, because I think it's 5.3
yeah,
that everyone has to average to hit the 265.
yeah,
So you can kind of sit well knowing that you did your part.
yeah. So, yeah, call JG Wentworth 877 cash now. Thank you, Tom Laces. That's a fine score. Benny Lau says, what did they do for the 40th anniversary? For Return of the Jedi? I know we had May the
The closest
4th.
thing was they made a when they I guess it wasn't the fourth. So last year when Boosh and Skiff Lando came out, they said this is the start of us celebrating for Return of the Jedi's 40th anniversary, and then that was the only thing I ever heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any like special rewards, but I mean they did a really fine job in my opinion with the rewards we got for May the 4th and stuff. That was pretty nice. Even with the disaster that was May the 4th, they made up
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
with the login issues,
Oh
that
my
sucks.
god, yeah, it was so bad. But they did. I like the make good that they did. You can debate if it should have been more, but I was fine with it. And on top of that, they gave us extra days of double drops, which was really nice. So and plus the rewards
Oh, that
themselves.
was actually really good.
Yeah, and so overall, yeah. But Return of the Jedi stuff, I don't think they have, nor I don't think they are going to do anything special. I mean, the date's already come and gone.
I
So
if they are, they're not telling us yet because it's going to be Geo Leia, and they don't want to
yeah,
have that out there right now because Cal and Leviathan are the thing.
yeah. I mean, that's the 2 things we're worried about right now, right? Cal and Leviathan for us that are going rogue.
Mm-hmm.
So. Tumble says question, where's the free energy from the web store? I don't know. I haven't even checked today if there was a pack.
It is not in June. We
Did we get a
the
post
guys
from
who
that?
typically well, we didn't get a post from CG, but the people who data mine or whatever
Uh-huh.
and like send out the packs like 3 days before or whatever, we got a notification, I think like May 29th or something like that, that as of right now, there's no packs in there. I'd imagine they'll eventually put something in there. I don't know if they'll keep doing like the massive amount of energy they've been doing, but yeah, there's no free packs right now.
Yeah.
There's a free calendar. There's a free
Yeah,
calendar. Get that,
get your
but
calendar. But yeah, I'm
yeah,
looking.
there's no energy right now. If you don't see it, you're not missing anything.
No, I checked it. I didn't log in today, but last 2 days I logged in just to check. No, there's nothing remotely there. Yep. That is poo poo diarrhea gone. Hi, Dieting Cake Gaming.
Hello.
Yeah, Kate, I jumped into Discord yesterday with Kate and all those guys doing stuff. I had some stuff to work on. I'm like, I'll just go hang out with Kate. And then Kate's doing her thing, and we're talking and stuff. And all of a sudden says, yeah, I'm on a diet right now. I'm like,
Same, man.
for, for what? I know I had to go on a diet because I became Fatty McBatty over here. So I dropped 75 pounds. But Kate,
Yes.
when I look at Kate, I don't think you need to diet. That's crazy.
It's okay.
Well, you got to do what you got to do for yourself, right? So, yeah, it's the
Yes.
famous
Yeah.
one. Kate Gaming's here. Hi, Kate. We're just answering questions.
Hello.
How's your SWGOH life treating you?
I mean, I've been slacking.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find a plug. I can't find it for the ring light. Oh well.
We can see you fine. You look good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
the lighting's hitting your skin. I can tell you use the lotion and moisturize like I do, so you
Oh,
look
I
fine.
just see like half of it like looks lit because there's a window right there, and then
you're
half
fine.
is dark. I'm
That's
like,
all.
whatever.
Yeah.
I
don't
give
worry.
up.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. People can see you good well enough.
Yeah.
I don't think people are gonna be like, oh my god, Kate had a little shadow on her face. I can't watch this shit.
You never know.
It's unwatchable. Well, then they need to go. I don't know. I think what guild are you in with your top account? Maul?
I'm still in Vanguard.
Vanguard. Okay. I knew it was
Yeah.
one of them. Got that big announcement from Call yesterday there, Kate. I bet that made you guys go, huh?
What announcement?
They're not doing TW for the summer?
I guess not.
I guess you didn't know. Okay, Kate's really not been paying
Look, I am not in tuned with like
Okay.
news or anything. Like
Okay.
9 times out of 10 people have to tell me, or I'm like, I got no clue.
So Arnold put out a video yesterday that the Caw is not doing TW for the entire summer. They're not even going to look at it until July.
Taking it
So
off.
they're not joining it, like they're not even
joining.
being like, oh, okay.
No, they're not joining. Yeah.
Not joining, not doing anything. Not investing in Datacrons, not doing any of that stuff.
Well, at least not for TW. They might still do it for GAC.
They're not a big GAC guild. I was
Yeah, but I
Their
get it.
manifesto said they'll be giving like recommendations for GAC or something like that.
yeah, but they've never really cared about GAC, man.
Like I can understand the taking off TW, but actually the Datacrons, I probably wouldn't.
No, they're skipping.
Like, I wouldn't take off of that.
They are.
But it would depend on like.
They're not requiring them anymore.
Yeah.
Is basically what they're saying. You can still do them.
You still do them like like
Yeah.
Arnold does with Conquest. I mean, that's how I do it. I mean, I'm competitive enough where I don't spend on fuck. Are you kidding me? Datacrons can kiss my ass, man. I hate these things, but I will get them. Like this next Conquest coming up, I call it my cachet Conquest because all I do is I don't even get red crate. I just get gold and farm the hell out of the node, especially with the new Datacrons that coming out. He'll know. That's how I keep up with that.
Yeah, I get red crate every time, and then that's how I farm my Datacrons is always on Conquest. So like this last one, when something happened where I was like, it was probably when they announced Dagger. I was like, I need to save my crystals, so I only started doing the 50 refreshes instead of the 50s and the 100s. So
all right, we got a question, and we got the world famous Kate Gaming and Calvin. Awesome here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Blah blah blah. Darsign question. Now that the raid has been around for a while now, the panel's thoughts on the rewards. Personally, I like it overall, but the only thing I miss is the guild currency. I don't miss the guild currency. The reward structure and what they did for the store, we talked about it earlier. I'm really digging it, man. I mean, adding the characters and good lord, man, they really hit up Gear 12 in there too. If you scroll down, man, you can get a lot of Gear 12 for your, I think the Mark IIs.
Yeah, that's correct.
So holy God.
And the right side pieces too, which
yes.
in history's past have been the expensive one because they've always been more expensive, like with Shard Shop currency or whatever. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like the reward structure for it. It not only did it make it simpler from the last system, having like the 3 or 4 raids juggling at all times, but it just seems like genuinely better value.
Yeah. I mean, Kate, what are your thoughts?
I like the rewards. I don't like that we have it on auto relaunch, and I'm like, I always forget to do it to the last minute anyway. And then I have to get like, okay, well, here we go again. That's my only complaint about it, but I know people are gonna say stuff, but yeah. I don't like, it's just like there's a lot in the game right now where I'm just like the raid, it's like there and it's great rewards. It's just there's almost too much right now.
I would agree there is too much, but
There
actually the
is.
raid is probably my second favorite thing right now.
I got bored of the raid. I was like, all right, it was
I
cool
still
the
really
first
like
like
it.
2 times, and then I'm like, all right, I'm over this.
Yeah, for me, it it's engaging in sense as you go up with your relics and your characters, like I've been doing, and then changes the dynamic. Like when you go from relic 7 to relic 8 and go for the final boss, or relic 5 to relic 7, the fight's different and how you have to approach it and things of that nature. So it keeps it fresh in that regard. But it's like anything else. I do it because it's cool. I like it, but it's mainly because I'm like, gimme reward shit. I need gear for other stuff that I'm working on. I got me a Cal Survivor to work on, damn it. Give me all that free loot. Goddamn. Well, it's not free, but so yeah. Um, it
I do
is,
really like how they have like the personal reward track.
yeah, that's really
Like, I
nice.
do like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the same 5 teams. You go in, you get your stuff, but it is nice as you progress with your guild to the next higher crate or reward structure. I like it a hell. This is a hell of a lot better than the old raid rewards. I mean, you can say
Oh,
it's stale
100%.
Oh
you can
yeah.
say it's stale, whatever, but it's a hell of a lot better.
I mean, the other ones got stale too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then they got put on auto.
yeah,
Or the
I
sim
mean,
raids.
heroic Sith was there for what, like 4 years?
yeah.
That one really sucked. I was so ready to be done with that.
No. And then we had the mythic raid, but I mean, the other cool thing about it is that with the rewards, yeah, maybe it's stale for you, but you get those rewards and then you can pick and choose what you want to get out of the store, which I really like. And that addition of the characters, all the TB characters and raid characters and stuff that we were worried about with, like, if everyone's doing the crate raid, how they're going to get all this other stuff, answered. Gas, Malik, all those guys are in there. And I'm like, there you go. Very, very nice. Christ in heaven, I see Kelly's putting a bunch of questions in here. This is not good. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. But no, I think overall I like what they're doing. Plus, they can every 6 to 9 months redo it. So we have different teams and stuff. So we've had it what for 3 months? Great raid.
It's been that long already?
It's been 3 months.
Has it?
I don't think it's
I
I
don't
don't think
think
it's been
so.
quite 3. It's close though. It might
Close.
be somewhere around 2.
Yeah, two and a
Really?
half. Yeah.
Oh my God, where's the time gone? I didn't think it was that long. I thought it was like a month. I don't know.
All right.
Felt like yesterday.
Dark Science's question: I will never buy anything from the CG store for real money, as EA customer support sucks balls. If I have an issue, Google takes care of their customers.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that that's a fair assessment. Google customer service, I mean, it's not just CG. EA customer support in general is pretty bad. Because I've seen some horror stories from other games that I've had to deal with, whether it's be Battlefront 2 or some other games. It's like, that's not good.
I mean, isn't EA responsible for the most EA support responsible for the most downvoted comment ever on Reddit?
I don't know.
It was from Battlefront 1. Someone was asking why they have to do such and such to unlock Vader, and they said it was supposed to be. There's a famous line out there. It's encouragement, rewarding, something like that. And it literally is the most downvoted post of all time.
No kidding. I didn't know that. Well, it makes sense. I mean, it's like an afterthought for them. We want to get into FIFA, the soccer game, and all the drama that was with that, with customer support. It's pretty bad. Yeah, Epic Fails. We did talk about it on numerous occasions, my friend. And the good thing is you can go back and listen to it, because you can replay and listen to the stuff when we talk about. I go in depth in the beginning of the show of Call. So yes, we just talked about it with Kate Gaming. We didn't know. All right, Helly's question for you, Kate. Here we go.
Oh geez.
For Mrs. Underscore Part 1 of 2. Knowing what we all know about my Heli SWGOH shenanigans and acknowledging that the super secret Heli 3v3 comp with C3PO lead is way OP, can you suggest a Heli 5v5 squad that'll be just as fun? I feel like I'm slacking lately. When are you not slacking, dude? That's an oxymoron.
I got Helly came up with that 3v3 squad. I
know,
can't
right?
just come up with them.
Yeah,
The
why don't
other
you help?
issue is a lot of the squads that like used to be like kind of them as the jokes, they're getting characters that boost them up. So
Yeah, they are.
No worry, Epic Fells. Yeah, Helly, you're supposed to help Kate out. This doesn't work the other way. She's not here to help you, buddy. You want to have some shenanigans, you got to come up with your own goddamn shenanigans.
Helly, if you want to give me a squad, I'll put it on defense.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Why don't you do some work, damn it, in game?
I did have Helly's 3v3 squad on defense for a little bit because I kept forgetting to take it off.
Oh my god. Kate, you're a treasure.
Don't care.
I don't really care. We were talking about GAC and stuff like, you know, I'm just assigned myself to being. I get into Kyber 1, then I get squished to Kyber 2 every GAC. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'll finish 6 and 3.
I'm just hanging out in Kyber 2. I'm like, I just don't care.
Yeah,
I took off a couple weeks or like did my like battle to get me my crystals, but I took off for a while. So I know somebody said like, oh, you're still playing? I'm like, yeah, still around, just busy.
How's your Dorito farm going there, Kate?
I'm done.
Good.
Finished that this morning. I only had like 12 shards I had to get. So that is all done.
Good job. You got to stay on top of that meta fleet. If anything, get your meta fleet.
Oh yeah, especially where I'm playing. Like that's my high priority is keeping up with that kind of stuff. Like
have to.
There are some things that'll get pushed to the back burner, but because of where I play, my priorities are different than probably a lot of others.
Understandable. Well, you're in top guild with your account, so there are things you got to work on.
Yeah, I still keep waiting. Like one day they're just going to be like, nope, like your account's getting too small compared to all of ours. Because mine is actually one of the smallest ones in our guild. But
and by small, what's your GP on that?
10 something.
Yeah. 10 million is small.
10.3.
We have accounts that are 13 now, like that are 13 million.
Yeah.
For Vanguard, yeah, it's a small account. But the issue that we run into at the top, I mean, we have a really high turnover rate. Like recently, we've had a really high one, and it's because people you don't want to play in the gauntlet. Like, and I can't blame people. It's a lot.
It's a ton, you know.
There's a lot more than people realize. Like, it's not just like the OG account where you're just in the guild. Oh, I'm 10.8. Oh, look at that.
Look at Kate. She had more GP and she didn't even know it. All right, you're safe for a while there, Kate. You get to 11 million, you're locked in for a little bit there, Kate. Holy crap.
I'm still at the bottom of Vanguard, like size-wise. I still am, but I try to pull my weight.
I think, dude, good job, Kate. Quit diving.
Yeah. But the issue is just people you don't want to play at that level.
It's a lot because when you're in a guild like that, and I was in the guild when I first joined the MC Alliance, before it was called MC. You're constantly just working on shit like religiously, mods and other things that you're trying to get heavily invested in and remodding and all this other stuff. It's a lot.
Well, the mods I just did a big overhaul. I was actually not in as bad a shape as I thought, considering I hadn't touched them in a couple months, and I was like, I should probably look at this. I did. It wasn't that bad, but like, I don't know how much people know about what it's like in the top end, but like, just to give you like examples, like a regular TW for us, like, yeah, you set your defense, they tell you what to set. And then offense is where it gets like really intense. Like, and you got to give it to the officer. I got to give it to the officers. There's some that are around like the whole TW, like they don't sleep. Like, it's a lot. Like if you're a TW officer, that's a lot. And then they'll open up a zone. You'll pretty much get 1, maybe 2 counters to it. So like you're dependent on all 50 people doing an attack in a time frame. But then there's also going to be some attacks where they're like, well, we're not too sure about this counter yet. Or it's just one that like we want to make sure you're doing right. So they'll require it to be streamed. So like that means you go into Discord and like stream battles. Like a lot of the top end guilds do that. And then you have to request a team. So it's like you also have to put in your request. You got to get it approved by an officer, and then you can go in and attack.
Yeah.
and that like repeat for every single
Every
zone
TW.
That's
and
so
every
much
TW.
time.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it always ends up being like the last couple hours, like, okay,
Oh,
people
it's
really need to show
chaos.
up now. And then it's just chaos. It's
Yeah.
chaos.
It's like that for us too.
Yeah.
Epic Phil, well, I was hoping you were on last week. Was open. Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend. I wasn't streaming. Oh, but thank you for your service. It was my honor to serve. Thank you for saying Epic. And he says the dagger check. I'm 13 away with only 5.3 crystals spent. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, for the most part,
It
the
was super
galactic
cheap.
yeah, it's the galactic chases have been fine. I mean, it slowed down me a little bit with Saw and Artful because I had to use those crystals toward the dagger. But I mean, it's for a meta fleet. It's a no-brainer.
If you want to get Leviathan, you're
You're
gonna need
gonna
that.
have to do that, and I've
I
got,
keep wanting to call it levitation. I don't know why.
you call it whatever you want, Kate Gaming. God damn it, you can call it.
That's how I read it the first time I saw it. I'm like, it kind of just stuck, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna totally
We're
mess this up one
flying
time.
levitation, levitation in the fleet.
So we finally have Executor, Levitation, and Profundity.
So it's like I read it like that, and then oh, what's that song called? I can't remember the oh man, I'll have to, it'll dawn on me at some point. I don't remember the name of it.
No, yeah. So there you go. All right, get your questions coming in. You got the world famous Kate Gaming, Calvin, awesome, and Poopy Flavor Ranger here hanging out with you, answering your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And while we have time down, I'm excited. I will be streaming this next week for you guys. I'm just waiting for the final paint to come in. Did the final test run on the Mando suit. As you guys know, in about a month, I'm going to be in Vegas with the transvestites, dressers, walk around with these kids. Heinze and Ram. Ram will be wearing the Slave Leia costume, and Ram's going to be dressed as
I was very confused. I'm like, are you going to like a drag show? Like, I did not understand what you meant by that.
Wait, so who's in what costumes?
So,
Ram's in a Slave Leia, you're in Mando.
And
is Heinze doing Rose?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys better just go to a drag show.
I'm hoping I can make some good invest money.
You'd be the weirdo, though.
Yeah, I'll be the like. I think I'm gonna have a 30-foot border of space that they have to stay away from me for the entire time. But that being said, I did the final test run on the suit last weekend. Memorial Day is one of the things I was working on. So it works really well. I got the voice modulator working. The fan in the helmet works really well. I was doing it in the heat here, and walked a couple blocks in it just to see, make sure everything's good. The one thing I noticed is that the armor that I got in the helmet's the FX helmet, so it's painted that alclad chrome like from the show. The armor that I got is metallic. It looks good, but it's not the same color, and it's not the chrome color that the show is. So it's a little off. So we raised the money this week. I will be painting the armor this week on a stream once I get the chrome in. So we will have some painting streams from Ranger J 1999.
Wait, we're actually gonna watch you paint?
Yep, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna set up I'm gonna set up a little area in my garage and do some painting. Gonna get I gotta do, to make that look like the armor from the show, I've got to do multiple coats of paint in different days. So you start off with a clear lacquer gloss black. You have to do 3 coats of that. Let that dry for 24 hours. And then I had to get an airbrush. So I got that in finally. So I've got to do 2 coats of a clear coat of, that you put on. You have to do it in a certain order. So I have to do coat of the clear on the black, give it 3 to 5 minutes, let it dry. Then I do another coat of the clear and give it about 3 minutes. I want it sticky. Then I got to take the airbrush and paint the chrome. And what that will do is it'll enhance the chrome and make it look like the show. So, oh yeah.
Heinze's getting a full body wax.
Yeah, we hit the goal last night.
God.
Yeah. You know what the next the next
sounds painful.
The next sub goal, it's another 1,000 subs before the trip. It's Heinze has to get a tattoo.
That's not that okay.
But no.
What's the tattoo?
That's the thing. They're not sure yet, but I think it's going to be like the new updated Rogue Actions with, I think, Heinze, Gridzy, and Ram somewhere on his body. So.
Oh God.
Yeah. Now my thing is, I'm not stupid.
That's permanent.
So if you guys don't know, we've got the. I can't believe this is. We're almost there, Kate. I'm only $700 away in the tip jar for me having to do one, a jacuzzi stream. The other thing is I offered that I will get a tattoo of my choosing, but I will stream it. And I already know it's the tattoo I'm going to get. It's going to be Mando and Grogu that I've got. That's going to go on my left shoulder.
So basically just like a Star Wars themed tattoo.
Yeah. I'm going to tie it into this tattoo I've got here through my shoulder to the back here. So it'll look really
That
cool.
sounds like a reward for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get that first and then do the jacuzzi stream. So I don't know how much of a reward it's going to be because
tattoo sounds like a reward.
I mean, I guess, but I mean,
if you're picking it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not letting people pick a tattoo that's going to be on.
No,
I don't care how much.
Yeah, you don't do that.
No.
But the jacuzzi stream's right around the corner, Kate. Oh, goody.
Nice.
Yeah, not really. I have to get that inflatable, either from you or Finn. I got to get the inflatable.
Oh, you got to get the pink one from Finn. Come on, you got to do the pink one.
Yeah, that'll be not good. Sit there outside for 2 hours. Just sit there with a jacuzzi. Oh my god.
Actually, Finn, he keeps saying he's doing his this summer.
Man, that's like us with Red 5, man. I'll believe it when I see it, okay?
I mean, maybe if you go to Florida and join him, he might actually do it.
I don't know. He's such a puss.
He keeps insisting he's going to do it. I'm like, okay.
Sure, Finn. 3 years later.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Question for Darsign 1972. Question for Ranger. Can you please wear the Bob Ross bro painting and talk about all the happy things with Star Wars? Maybe in my world, though, guys, I'm going to get crazy. Maybe in our world, I'm going to put a big tree right here on the Mando armor. Some squirrels and other little happy things, little happy critters. No, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be hot enough in that garage with with all the mask and stuff on I'm going to have to wear for this. Oh, God. Helly's got another question. All right. Question actually for the chat, part 1 of 2. Okay, can we all take a moment to recognize how lucky we all are as a gaming community? Not only do we have world famous one and the awesome one answering our question, but also look at what Ranger does for charity. Give these guys a round of applause. They rock. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Helly. Helly is definitely having a slow day at work. This is the first. This has been many questions from Helly today.
Really?
Yeah. Remember last time we did 2 weeks ago? I mean, he was busy because I only got 1 or 2 things from him. It's quiet. It was very quiet.
Ranger, where did you I didn't hear, where did you get the majority of your suit from? Are these like Etsy things?
Yeah.
Is there like a specific store? Oh, it's Etsy things?
Yeah, I had to order everything individually.
Was it all from like the same person, or did you have to like kind of go to various?
I had to go to various resources because they all make different stuff, right? So like for instance, the rifle and the pistol I had to order from one place. The grenades and the cylinders, the cartridges that are all on the suit, I had to go to a different place. The costume itself, I had to, for the jumpsuit and the pieces, I had to go to one place. For the jetpack, I had to go to a different place. So, and then the voice modulator was a different place. And then the fan was from a different place. So you just have to do your research. And I know that there's been some people that are actually, I think Mary J. Queens are both doing costumes like that. So they were picking my brain on like, what do I need? Where do I go? Now, I will say the Mando costume is the worst costume to try to put together because there's so
many pieces.
Compared to anything else, it is significantly cheaper to go with something else.
The big thing is just do your research.
Yeah.
Like that's the huge thing. Like I've gotten stuff off Etsy before. Like that's actually where I got my Sabine Wren helmet. And it looks awesome other than the antenna piece broke off, which I gotta fix. But
now we just have to get Kate the full Sabine costume and then she can come cosplay with us.
The funny thing is, like, me and my husband, we've talked about it. Like, whenever we do decide to have a kid, we're like, all right, first Halloween, it's going to be Sabine, or not Sabine. I'm going to get a Bo-Katan, and then he's going to be Mando, and then we're going to have the baby as Grogu.
Oh, he's going to be Mando, man. God bless him, because it is a lot. It's so many moving parts.
I don't think it's probably not going to be as genuine as yours, Ranger. I don't know if that's a level anyone's going to hit other than like Pedro Pascal.
No, it will look like it will look like the real deal. But I mean, it's for charities, for the kids, it's for visiting, so I had to make it as authentic as possible. That's
Oh,
why I did the
yeah.
extra. That's why I went the extra mile with this.
Well, and especially it's something you do consistently. It's a question of investment, and I
Yeah.
like your reasoning before was really good, where like you were doing the whole Darth Revan thing, and it wasn't you had like a very small appeal with that. With this, even for kids that aren't like diehard Star Wars fans, they're gonna know exactly who it is, and it's gonna be really cool for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We
for
got the
sure.
yeah, and I've got the egg crate for Grogu, and I've got the animatronic Roku. That's something else we invested in. So got the FX Darksaber. We got all that stuff. So yeah. People are like, you should go really into it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing crazy stuff like I could if I wanted to have smoke and lights from the
I think
jetpack.
you've done enough.
Yeah.
You're
Like
good.
you can get your whistling birds to look like the real whistling birds. Like,
No, you're
no.
Hey, Ranger, if you're willing to part with one of your kidneys, I can get you genuine Beskar. What do you think?
Well, for the kids.
I think you're fine.
Yeah. No, I'm not getting an I blame Finn tattoo ever, Skywalker Vader.
At
Ever.
least it would be small.
No. I have to deal with Finn. He's my heterosexual life mate. I don't want to be reminded of him when I don't have to be around him.
He's playing SWGOH again too.
I know, but just JC. He's not fully
Nobody's
invested.
ever really gone.
Yeah.
He's having a good time.
Dark sign question, serious question. Is the panel thinking of GLA, and also when do you think the next GLA will be announced?
Definitely Leia.
Definitely Leia.
Yeah.
Probably end of July, August, going into the fall. We'll get an announcement on that. Not this
That
road
sounds
ahead, but I
right.
think the road ahead after this one.
I'm bad with time frames, so don't ask me.
Okay, Kate's.
I just think Leia.
Yeah.
But I also like the one stipulation with that is I really do hope they release Lieutenant Connix, because I just feel like that'd be a really cool tribute to Carrie Fisher to have her daughter in the game with her and be a requirement for her.
I think that would. Next question from Dark Sciences question: what and how will the last ship be released for Leviathan? Marquis, Chase, thanks everyone for being here. Well, we talked about it earlier.
Didn't they already release it too?
No, there's one
No.
more coming.
One more. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
One more. I still
It's
think
gonna
it's
be
gonna
a chase.
It's gonna be a chase.
Yeah.
However, Calvin said if they do a marquee, that's gonna suck.
That
It will
they
suck.
I don't think it'll be, because they've been doing chases lately for the release of ships.
not even just lately, but years. Like what was the last marquee ship? Like
Don't know.
it would have to have been before TIE Bomber and the Rebel Y-Wing. It might have been Hyena Bomber. Like this is years ago.
There's so
I
many
don't
ships
remember.
from the Old Republic or Sith that they could pull from. So whatever one that they're gonna do, they'll do, and we'll just rock and roll with it. I'm not too worried about the chases or whatnot. I'm just hoarding so much Relic 8 and 9 because I'm like, all right, CG, what's the relic level going to be on these turrets
Yeah.
for fleet? What you got for me? Come on, let me have it. How many relics?
Revan's
7s, 8, and
definitely
9?
gonna be 9. No
Yeah.
questions. Like he's
I'm
gonna be 9.
shocked.
I'm expecting Revan and Malgus 9, and then I think we're going to get hit with a lot of the uncommon ones also, like Relic 7 or 8, like Sith Assassin and HK.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're going to be Relic 7 or 8s, because those are the two that
Nobody
most
has.
typical people don't have at Relics.
Yeah. If they did Malgus at 9, I'd be happy because mine's already 9. Because
Oh yeah, it'd be kind of like Boba Fett at 8 right now.
it's nice that it is Sith, because the only one that I don't have up is Assassin. She's like gear 11, just because I've never done anything with her, and her ship is just trash. So if I have to take her up, it would be nothing for me to take her up to relics. So I'm not too worried about it. Everybody else is 5 or higher, so it wouldn't be that bad for me. But I kind of think, yeah, it won't be bad for me, but for everybody else, oh boy, oh no.
Oh, the other curveball they could throw us outside of Sith is they could excuse Old Republic into this too. We might get Carther Sortie or something.
Oh, you're right.
I was really hoping for like a dark side Ebon Hawk. That's what I was really hoping for.
That would be cool.
Well, I was
Who
like,
would-
yeah,
Who would
Revan
pilot
would've
it though?
Revan would have,
Oh.
but he's
Oh, sure.
not. He's already taken.
Helly, serious question for Ranger. Have you ever considered a motor race and cool suit to wear under your Mando costume? You'll be in Vegas. I don't want to see you suffer from stroke. Be careful. One, this suit compared to stuff I've worn in the past in hotter climate, I think I'll be okay. That's why.
What's
So
your name again?
My name again? What do you mean?
Ranger.
Yes. Oh, yes, yes. So what I've done is I do have a camelback, so I can wear that underneath. One, I wear Under Armour, so it absorbs like the military Under Armour, so it absorbs all the sweat. Two, I'll have a camelback underneath that I can have one to just drink, and the other to keep me cool because you can keep that's a good way to keep your body cool. Three, I've got fans in the helmet. One to keep the fog off the front. That was one of the things I was testing out. This is like I was walking around in 90-degree heat this past weekend, having the fans on. So to see one, did it keep the visor clear? It did, and two, it kept me cool. So I'll be fine in Vegas. Trust me. 'Cause I'm not going to wear the armor in the middle of the day. We're wearing it toward the nighttime. So and
you'll be fine. It'll cool down.
It'll cool off significantly in the desert.
I thought you were gonna wear it during the day. I was like, yeah, that might
I
not
could,
be
and
the
I would,
greatest idea.
I would tank it like a boss, but I wouldn't be happy, you know. So,
No.
all right. Any other questions? Oh, BD says, Ranger, I refinish and paint for a living. Would be happy to help you painting project if you have any questions. Yeah, BD messaged me in Discord. I mean, I've got the plan. I just went over the plan. Good morning and welcome. The plan is I watched a video on how to do it. I've got the airbrush. I've got the paints. So I've got to take the armor. I got to clean the armor because you want to make sure it's clean, right? You got to use some soap and water, let it dry. And then I got to put 3 coats of lacquer black gloss on, let that sit for 24 hours. Then to make the chrome pop, I've got the Alclad chrome. You want to do a coat of clear, then 5 minutes later do another coat of clear, let that be sticky, and then you spray paint the chrome on. And from what I've been seeing in the videos and tutorials I've been watching, should be fine. So I should be fine. I'm going to do a test piece just to see, make sure everything's working proper order. But yeah. But yeah, we'll be doing it next week. I will stream it. I don't know how I'm going to stream it. I may just be outside with my phone and just hit stream on YouTube because that'll probably be the easiest on Twitch.
That's what people do.
Yeah, just turn the camera on and just have it sitting there, you know, because bringing my laptop and shit is not going to be good. Setting all that up in the garage and stuff would be a pain in the ass. Because I have to bring the light out there. I have to bring the laptop, the mouse, the camera. Oh, fuck it.
I mean, you don't have to.
I don't have to. I think just take the camera out there, stream, and then that'll be it. Just hit stream from my phone. Yay me. What else? Any question? Ranger, why don't you get one of those water recycler systems so it collects your sweat and urine and makes it water for you again? It worked for Iron Man.
Gross.
I mean, you can
Nice.
drink your own urine. It's a scientific fact.
Can you do that like only once and then after that it's bad?
Yeah, after once you can't do it.
2 cycles is no good.
No, 2 cycles is not good. So yeah. And I won't talk about some of the stuff I did in the military to keep my stressed out.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. When you're in the middle of the jungle, you're in the middle of the goddamn jungle. If you're in the middle of the desert, you're in the middle of the goddamn desert. If you're in the middle of a blizzard snowstorm and sub 30 below weather, do what you got to do. When you do survival shit, they really try to make you survive, and it's not fun. But it's to show that you can do it. And Paul Atreides, yeah, I forgot about Dune. I don't have one of those suits. So, no. But I'll be fine. We'll be in Vegas. It'll be at night. We'll wear it. Yeah, comb the desert. We ain't found shit. You know the guy that says that? You know who that is? That's the actor who should become Tuvok in Star Trek Voyager. He's the one that said, we ain't found shit. He says that of all the things he's famous for, with all the shows and movies he's done, that's the one thing people say to him all the time is, we ain't found shit. Oh, God. Yes, indeed. I was watching an interview with him. It's so funny. It's like, oh my God. Mel Brooks strikes again. All right, final call for questions. So get your questions in for me, the world famous Kate Gaming, and Calvin. Awesome. So we'll do our last call for questions. If not, then I'll let these wonderful people pimp their stuff. And then for Calvin, you did your GSC last night, yes. So you won't do yours till tomorrow?
Sunday night, yeah, correct.
Sunday night.
But you can catch me on YouTube at Calvin Awesome. Got a lot of videos going right now.
Yes. I've seen your YouTube videos. Games. let's just look at the latest things in my feed here. Calvin, awesome. Got it up right now. I do follow Calvin. So he says most the latest videos are top 10 free-to-play GC Omicrons and SWGOH, so you should definitely watch that. Heart of Farm General Skywalker and SWGOH, that was a couple days back. Here's a good one. Best cleanup team for every solo galactic legend. Yeah.
I could use that one.
Top synergies.
Well, and now,
stop
sorry.
making. Yeah.
There's a lot of those, man. That one actually got a lot of attention, and a lot of people went into the comments were even honest of like, there's way too much to read. Like, this was really helpful. Like, I've been playing HK with Malgus for months now.
Yeah, don't do that. 8 core teams. I hate to break it to you, Jawas are not one of the 8 core teams that you should be.
No. If I did a 16 core teams or maybe even a 24, I don't think Jawas would still make the cut.
No. Ewoks are not a part of that 8 core team. No. Yes. What else in 3? It's like with Matt Damon. The most quoted thing people say to him is Matt Damon. America. You'll meet such famous stars as Matt Damon. Matt Damon. They did him dirty. Add-on says, I'm expecting Jedi Counselorship as a Leviathan requirement, as a 7th random ship requirement. You never know. You never know. All right, final call for questions. We're going to start wrapping this up. So we've been here for 2 hours. So yes. Helly says, thank you, Ranger, for tolerating my antics. Thank you, Calvin, for being awesome. Thank you, Kate, for being world famous. And thank you, Chad, for being... Yeah, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and then once these guys pimp their stuff, make sure you follow their stuff. If you're not following Calvin's channel, I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, I watch all his videos. Not that I care what he says, but I just, as a fellow content creator, to give him just to give him,
Rangers here for support.
Wow.
Yeah, just to get the view times because it's YouTube. Because they don't care if I'm really into the video or not. He just needs the damn algorithm to help him. So yeah, I'm kidding.
What's worse is it's true.
Yeah, and Calvin knows that's not.
Oh no, but yeah, the what you said about the YouTube algorithm, that part's true though. Even if you hate the video, they don't care. You're watching it.
It's a BD. It's a resin armor. Pull a piece if you want, but it's yeah. I mean, they painted it. It's metallic, but it's just it doesn't match that. You know what? Let me show it. Let me. You guys chill for a second. Let me go grab that. Oh, I gotta move. My bag's gonna go. Ah.
Getting old, Ranger. Are you okay?
No, I hurt my back yesterday. One of those things like I was out, I've been working out all week and doing all my stuff. And then I was outside all day, moving hundreds of pounds of stuff. Didn't feel anything, got done. I was exhausted. I went and took a shower, and I cooled off. Actually, no, I cooled off. I was sitting here because usually when I get done working outside, you're just nasty, you're dirty, you're grimy. Took off all my clothes, threw them in their wash. I'm just sitting here just like, AC, hit me, please. And then I stood up, and then my lower back and then the right side is like, someone's like taking a little knife and poking me right in my spine. It was like, oh, well, that doesn't feel right. I don't like that. So I got a little twinge in my back right now.
Getting older.
I don't know if it's just, it's not age, it's just wear and tear.
That too, yeah.
As I said, I've worn too much gear in my life.
Yeah.
All right, so if you notice, I got to keep this upside down, but that's the color of the Mando helmet. That's the chrome that I'm going to be painting the armor. Now, if you look at the armor piece that I got from the guy, it's not the same. It's shiny and stuff, right?
No, it doesn't match.
It doesn't match. So if you put the comparison to each of these next to each other, you can see the difference. Yeah, it's shiny and stuff, but, the only thing I'm going to be doing is just cleaning this off, right? And then just painting it. That's all I got to do. I don't have to do anything else. Now, if I wanted to go the extra step, I don't need to because they already did that with this armor is, you do a wet sanding. I don't need to do that with this process. So That'll be a step that I don't have to do. But I got to paint this to match that so it looks right. The kids. Hey, Dalton Miles, konnichiwa. Says hello there. Hello there. Yeah, I got you, BD. I did all my research on it, buddy. And you'll be there, I'm sure, to watch and say, Ranger, don't do that. But no, I did all my research. I spent hours researching and learning like what I need to do and stuff. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. So I got to do a process, and I had to. The only way I can paint it chrome is I had to get an airbrush. So, and I got to make sure I had to get one that's adjustable because you want about 15 to 18 psi when you're spraying the chrome. So these little things that you just don't. I've never painted something like this before, so I've been like doing research. I mean, I've painted stuff, but not like this. I've done models and I've done big projects and I've painted stuff before, so I know how it works. But it's like a little extra, but you know, for the kids, I guess we'll do it for the kids and suck it up. Learn, goddamn it, Ranger, read, learn how things work. Damn it. No, I appreciate it, BD. Yeah, I've got the process down. So BD, it'll be 3 coats of the black, let it dry 24 hours, and then I'll do another stream where it's clear, instantly put on the chrome, and I do 3 layers of chrome. Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, BD, I see channels like that all the time where people are painting stuff, and people love watching that. People just like seeing creative people like watching other people do creative shit. You know, like when you're creating something, you're painting something, or you're building something. Like I was on a channel the other day, and the girl was just painting Warhammer figures, and they were answering questions and stuff. But I was just like, that's brilliant. She's just sitting there, just painting little figurines, you know. And I'm watching it as they're, you know, they're having their banter and answering questions. I'm like, of course I would watch this. I like just seeing what they're going to come up with. And I like Warhammer, so. But I have an appreciation for people that do that kind of. Because I think I think artists of any type, whether it's music or anything like that, is. Can we donate for the kids? We don't have the ACS up. We're waiting to get the final word from ACS. I'm waiting for Finn to tell me because he's in talks with them, coordinating what we're going to be doing. They already know everything, but they've got to get it set up, and we're still working on. So we will kick off our campaign probably after I get back from Vegas. We'll start getting everything set up for our next ACS charity stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I mean Warhammer is a very nice hobby. I mean it's just one, it's a very if you're into it, it's a very nice relaxing hobby. Getting the little figurines and stuff.
Get way too pissed off.
Hey, Desi. Do what now, Kate?
I'd get way too pissed off.
Pissed off?
Painting like little figurines.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of dexterity. I'm kind of really crappy at that type of stuff, me personally.
So
It is satisfying to watch, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Very much satisfying. Lovely Desi coming in right as we're leaving. So, well, these things happen. All right, so we're gonna get out of here, but we gotta let these awesome people pimp their stuff. So we'll start with Calvin. Awesome, Calvin. I already did all your pimping by talking about all the videos you're putting out, but where can people find said awesome videos?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ranger. We like you said on YouTube, just search Calvin Awesome. Have a wide range of videos going on right now. Ranger listed pretty much all of them. The other main thing is we have, you can find me on Twitch every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doing GAC, and then we have the Mad Awesome Show on Spotify and iTunes, which is me and Tilo Mad just doing a podcast about the game.
All right, Kate, the world famous Kate Gaming, other than hanging out and chasing ghosts and screaming in Discord and RSG. Where can folks check you out at?
I mean, I haven't been the most consistent with streaming.
No.
Yeah, but if I do, it's on Twitch, Kate Gaming with _. I actually think I'm gonna stream today. Probably like right after this, maybe.
You know what we should do, Kate? We should just get a bunch of people together and just do some Among Us. I think that would be like you, me.
We need some like community, like bringing together games.
Yeah, let me get through Vegas, and then I'll start looking at like Town of Us and stuff like that. The latest mods for Among Us, and then we can get like you, me.
You need to get the game we were playing yesterday. It's free on Epic.
Well, but I want to do something like that that we can be goofy with and stuff. Like
That is goofy.
I don't know, look at it, but I thought Among Us would be good because it's a simple game and we can get like 12 to 15 people in there and get a good group of us because we have a really good community that we can bring in people like Moz,
Oh, yeah.
Double Durgan, you know, Finn. I think the plan would be, Kate, that anytime you and me were imposter or whatever, we were going to try to kill Finn.
Yeah, we should do like let's dedicate
Kill
like
Finn.
one. Well, like wouldn't it be cool to like have one night a week as like a community night and just play like Among Us and
Yeah.
like those games?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. But if you do it after Vegas, that works out better for me because my June, like the rest of June and like the first probably 2 weeks of July are gonna be really busy.
Same for me. I mean, I got a lot of stuff going on and stuff, but I think like if we did it on a Thursday, I mean, there's really not much going on for SWGOH. It's a chill
Yeah.
day, you know, and we can all get together for a couple of hours and kill Finn. That's the whole thing about this is to kill Finn. We even could do. I'll even look at like maybe like Family Feud or Monopoly or some of these other games where we can.
Oh, Family Feud would be fun.
That would be
That'd be
great.
so funny.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get that set up, but I got to get through June with all the stuff I got going on. So yeah. So if you're watching this, we're on RSG now. We're mainly on Twitch, but we do have 2 channels on Twitch. There's RSG, the regular channel that's for Star Wars content and all the Star Wars games that we play. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We do the Old Republic there. Any Star Wars related stuff, it will be on the RSG Twitch channel. We also have for all the other games, we've got RSG Variety. And you can check out like all the different games that Finn does, like playing with his balls, marbles. He has tea parties there, apparently. All
Tea
that,
parties.
yeah, Tiny Tina's tea party. Does a lot of zombie hunting. He likes miniguns, shooting dead things, you know, that kind of stuff. And we'll keep expanding on that stuff. Once I get through June and through July, then I'll have more free time to start committing resources to other things. But we are going to be, speaking of other resources, thanks for all the Patreon support. If you haven't become a Patreon, please do. It supports our stuff that we're doing with the lore video. We'll get another one cut tomorrow and out to the Patrons on Monday and then everybody else on Friday. Star Wars Lore with Idiots. It is uploaded on Amazon and Podbean right now. Still waiting for Spotify and other stuff, but eventually we'll get it there. So you can download it as a podcast, and you guys' support's allowed us to do things like that. It's on YouTube. It's got its own playlist. So if you want to go listen to that, you can. It's a lot of fun where I try to teach lore to a bunch of idiots. And I do mean idiots. When you got Ram, Karth, and Big
Can
Case,
I join one day?
Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow?
I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, but
What time?
8:30, should be home by 12.
12. Are you Eastern?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't start till 1 Eastern. If you want to join tomorrow,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can come join us. We got a really cool subject for you tomorrow. I think it'll be right up your alley there, Kate.
Okay.
All right, we'll have okay
That
gaming on the next
me, but
Well, no, I just ask questions. We just have a conversation, and the buffoons ask a lot of buffoon questions, so you don't have to worry about being a buffoon because they'll more than take the cake, Kate. I think you'll be fine. All right, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe as you get it way out. Please go follow these guys. Please go support Calvin and Kate. They come here on a Saturday morning to come answer your questions. They don't ask for anything in return, but if you want to show them some love and appreciation for their taking the time out of their schedule to be here and hang out with you guys, please, just simple stuff. Go subscribe to their channels. Watch them on Twitch. Watch them on YouTube. Come hang out with Kate in Discord, for Christ's sake. She'll get you. She's in there all the time.
If you're ever bored, just go in the RSG Discord and you'll probably see me in there.
Yeah.
Playing that's the ghost hunting games.
Lot of women in there. Men.
Lot of yelling.
Yeah. Lot of screaming. Yeah.
A lot of screaming.
Double Durgan.
A lot of cursing.
Dropping the double entendres everywhere. I mean, it's really great.
It's a good time.
Yeah, we're 6 months away from another Santa Durgan appearance. I can't wait to watch that again. God.
Oh no, Finn said he's doing Human Fall Flat for 4th of July, I think.
Oh, then we'll get Uncle Sam double Durgan. Okay, very nice.
It's still Santa Durgan.
It's still Santa Durgan.
It's still Santa Durgan.
It is you when you're sleeping.
And then mine's Elsa. I got Elsa.
Oh my God. All right, so we'll check that out. So everyone have a great rest of your Saturday. We'll be back tonight on Twitch for Dungeons and Dragons. with our campaign that we've been running. So if you want to come hang out with us and watch us do D&D, you're more than welcome to. And then tomorrow we'll cut the video with Kate. So that'll be a lot of fun with the buffoons. And yeah, and then we'll be back Monday for GAC. Then you're doing GAC and other stuff in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. So we'll see you then. And we do the lunch stream Monday through Thursday. So you're more than welcome to come hang out. So with that, everyone have a glorious day. On behalf of myself and the rest of the panelists, take care. We love you. And